I want all of you to take a small time and ask yourselves, are you living the life you love? Dear Toastmasters of the day and my dear fellow Gavins. For like 10 to 12 months, after my A-level results came out for the second time, I was continuously being crushed by two specific questions by uncles and aunties around me, which I would say the two blessings of my life. The first one being, Chamishka, Putha, you're going to do your A-levels for the third time, right? So you'll be able to get into medical faculty. Like they were some kind of fortune tellers. So at first, casually, I would say, no, I'm not, because I'm not interested in becoming a doctor. Then comes the second blessing of my life. If you're not interested in becoming a doctor, then why did you do biological sciences for your advanced level? Yeah, this was my exact reaction. I would just smile and walk away because that was like 1,000 times better for me than explaining these people how I love immunology and how it would be really easy for me to pursue my dream being in a science faculty, right? At a time being, before entering the university, where we had much more free time, as for me, more free time to overthink, people kept asking me these questions over and over again without even having a sense of how I felt like. Some people even came up to my face saying that you have chosen a path of no worth or no wealth. Little did I know about this world, started doubting my decision. Started doubting the decision that my whole future would rely on. I even thought of going back and doing my A-levels for the third time. I came to a certain point in my life that I was even too depressed to go out and talk to people. To be honest, I felt really weak and worthless. I knew that I wasn't me or I wasn't free. But I have to say one thing. There was just one thing that kept me going during these times. That was my parents never forced me to do. That's something I didn't like. But of course, that wasn't enough for me to stand up straight and be responsible for my decision. So this is the part where the savior of my life comes into my life. Those days, I was just very fortunate enough to come across this amazing person known as Jay Shetty. One thing he always said was that if you have a passion, don't just follow it. Just invest in that and be incredible at that trait. So watching his videos and listening to his podcast brought me some kind of happiness, and finally, after weeks, I was able to analyze myself. So I asked myself a couple of questions. Why are people pressurizing me to become a doctor? That's because the society expects you to become perfect in a way. Again, why? Because there's this myth going in our society that when we do a certain category of professions, that we'll achieve perfection. But the real question is, do we need to struggle to become perfect in this imperfect world when we can be happy by simply being us? Because when we do something we love, even though we struggle at it first, slowly but definitely we'll be the best at it. Because most importantly, we'll have a more satisfied life. And that's when I realized if I want to be free, I got to be me. But there's something that is certain as day and night when you're walking through this path of your passion. That is, my dear fellow Cavaliers, failure. Now, this failure is a very tricky thing. It it tricks us into dragging ourselves out of doing the things we love. But what we should learn is most of the times failure is a blessing in disguise, because more the failure is, more the success. Now, as most of y'all know, people like Priyanka Chopra, Ed Sheeran, and Steve Jobs, these people have failed in their lives more than they have succeeded. But today, do we talk about their failures? No, we just celebrate them. So let's just be grateful for our failures and grow doing what we love. So with these all amazing lessons I learned in the year 2020, I stepped into one of the most important stages of my life. Yes, I started my undergraduate life at the Faculty of Science, University of Columbia. I have to say, our orientation program gave me a whole new dimension to my future. It showed us all the opportunities and the chances we had ahead of us, and made me feel really grateful that I didn't turn back that day. Today, I'm really happy that doing what I love and will keep on accomplishing my goals despite other people's opinions. So, I want you also to break that mental barrier of other people's opinions. For that, repeat after me. If I want to be free, I got to be me.